What's up, y'all? It's Will from Brews and Breaks back with the Week 14 NFL predictions. Currently, 122-71-1 in the season. Pretty good. Went 10-6 last week. Not terrible, but I'm sure everybody lost at least one game last week because there was some pretty wild ones. But if you want to see some, outside the box picks for Week 14, stick around because I'm about to jump into it. All right, so typically I do these things on a Monday or Tuesday when the spreads are a little wonky. This is a late video, and I wanted to bring up the DraftKings spreads just because I want a little bit more clout. Not gonna lie. So first up, we have the Dallas Cowboys at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by 3, but if you think they get a point at home, so really 2, it's basically a pick'em game. Thursday nights are historically under. Just historically under. If you bet the under on Thursday nights, you will more than likely win money. I like the over in this one. Both these teams are just so explosive offensively. Gibbs, he's going to get his points. Now, I'm picking Dallas, but Gibbs is going to get his points. He's probably going to score a touchdown. I have him on an anytime touchdown this week. Amon-Ra St. Brown is dealing with an ankle injury, so he's questionable right now. Even if he plays, I think it might be more of a decoy. Now, he's going to get some receptions if he plays, but I look at Tesla to get a little bit more action this week. You're also looking at Javonte Williams against the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL, which is a sneaky play. If you think about the explosive opportunities that Dallas is going to have at the wide receiver position, it'll open up the middle of the field because they're going to be in deeper sets, which is going to allow for a lot of tight end receptions over the middle and some late release curl routes maybe from Javonte Williams up the middle and some flats. So I look for him to actually get a few receptions and some extra yardage there. I am picking Dallas here, and I do like the over. Now, moving into the Saints and Bucks, Irving is dealing with just a lingering shoulder issue. He played pretty well last week, but not to his standard. And the Saints, they're good against the run, but they're the Saints. They're not going to be able to score. Godwin's back. Mbuka's back, at full speed. Evans just opened up his practice window, which is insane to me that he's coming back this year with the injury he had. But yeah, listen, the Bucks have to win. They've dropped some pretty big games lately, and they're just going to need to ball out. The Saints, I don't think they don't have the horses to beat the Bucks. So I'm taking the Bucks. I like the 8.5 in the Bucks. I don't necessarily like the over though. So I'm taking the Bucks under with the 8.5. We got the Seahawks and Falcons. JSN is just completely unstoppable at this point. It doesn't matter who you throw at him. The Falcons had a good passing defense, but that's fallen off lately. I'm taking the Seahawks in Atlanta. I'm taking the over, taking the points. I just think that Seattle's going to just smash them. Seattle's defense is really good. I don't see Atlanta doing anything, especially with Kirk Cousins at the helm. We are looking at, let's see here, the Bengals at the Bills. This is an interesting one. As a Pats fan, I need the Bills to lose. And the Bengals can score with or without Joe Burrow. I think the Bengals offense is going to be too much for the Bills to stop. The Bills don't have a massive passing attack. They have James Cook and they have Josh Allen and they have Shakir, who is good. But you eliminate one of those players, and the Bengals did a pretty good job of stopping the Patriots' rushing attack. I think they're going to slow Cook down, and they're going to put up more points than the Bills can handle. So you're looking at, I'm taking the Bengals on this one in Buffalo, which is wild. I'm taking the under, and I also like Buffalo, though, to hold the points. So keep that in mind. That's probably my craziest play this week. We got Steelers, Ravens. Steelers look like trash the last 2 weeks. I'm actually taking the Ravens. I think it's going to be really close. Taking the under. The points are wild, but I'm just taking the Ravens and the under on this one. I think the Ravens are starting to really tick up and the Steelers are going to start to slide. Next up, we got the Colts and Jags. I'm taking the Colts. It's going to be a lot closer than people think, and mostly because the Jags defense has been stepping up a little bit. Jacoby Myers will probably get some yardage there, some receptions over the middle, but I think that Jonathan Taylor is just too much. Taking the Colts. taking the under because the defenses are really good, and I might even take the Colts at the points. All right, so next up we have the Titans at the Browns. I think Shador will get his first win here. I mean, over under 33, I'm still taking the under. These teams can't really score. Judkins is going to go against a pretty decent defense. Problem is the Titans, they've been putting up some points here and there, but I don't think they're going to have the horses on offense to be able to handle the defense. And I think Myles Garrett's going to go off on Cam Ward, so good luck to you, my friend. I'm definitely taking the under, and I'm taking the Browns in this one. Dolphins, Jets. I like the Jets, mostly because they're going to be at home. It's going to be cold, could be snowing. I like the under, but I like Miami to cover the points. The Jets have been playing pretty good, especially since Tyrod took over. I think that Wilson and Adonai Mitchell next year with a good quarterback could rival the top, or could fall into the top 5 combos of wide receivers in the NFL. And I am not a Jets fan, but I really think that that is a possibility. I was really high on AD coming out of college, and they paired him with Anthony Richardson. That's all I got to say there. So you put him with somebody in a team that focuses on him, and then you add Garrett Wilson to that mix. Man, that's crazy. And with Wilson, he's been out. I don't know if he's playing this week, honestly. I'm not sure. But you feature him, I don't think Miami's going to be able to stop him. He's a big-bodied receiver, and he has some trust. So I'm taking the Jets. Let's see. Commanders at the Vikings. Oh, God. The Vikings suck. And the Commanders put up points on the Broncos, who have a better defense than the Vikings. I have to take the Commanders. I don't care who the quarterback is. I have to take the Commanders. The Vikings are just sliding, which is crazy, but is what it is. So I like the Commanders here straight up. I don't want to touch the points or the over-under on that one. We got Broncos, Raiders. Broncos. I mean, that's a stupid question. I'm taking the Broncos. I'm taking the over. I'm taking Bronco to cover the points. Denver to cover the points. The Raiders are god-awful. Geno is god-awful. They can't use Ashton Genty correctly. I don't know if it's a coaching problem or what. They're going to get a top pick next year. They're going to get a quarterback, or just no question. Rams, Cardinals. The Rams dropped a big one last week against the Panthers, which is crazy. Cardinals have a decent defense, but I think this is a get-right game for them. I'll take the under, but I'll take the Rams to cover the 7.5, so the Rams win. Bears at Packers. Ooh, this is a rare one. I picked the Bears to win the NFC North, and I'm sticking with that. And the Packers still don't have an identity on offense. I mean, they truthfully don't. So I'm taking the Bears in Green Bay, which is crazy to say in December. But I kind of like the over too. So yeah, that's where we're sitting on that one. Let's see. Texans at Chiefs. Here's another one. This is a wild week. I could go negative here on the win-losses, but I'm taking the Texans. I think the Texans' defense is going to be too much for the Kansas City offense to handle. Kansas City has absolutely no run game. Their defense is not stopping teams right now. They were much better earlier in the season. You're going to get Stroud. You're going to get Higgins is turning out to be the wide receiver I thought he was going to be when he was picked at a 6'4". Nico Collins. You have Marks, who's turning out to be a pretty decent running back, especially fantasy-wise. I really don't see the Chiefs winning this game. Weather could play a factor here. You are taking a warmer dome team and putting them in Kansas City, which is one of the hardest places to play in the whole country, next to Seattle. There could be weather. It could be snow. I like the under, and I like Kansas City to cover the 3.5. But I'm taking the Texans. Eagles, Chargers. Man, this is an interesting one. I don't like what the Eagles have been doing lately. They've dropped some interesting games. They still don't have a true identity on offense. And defensively, they haven't been where they have been earlier in the season. The Chargers, their O line is decimated. They don't necessarily have the strongest running game, but Omarion Hampton, I'm not sure if he's coming back this week or next week, but I believe he's coming off IR. Um, and the Eagles have to travel to LA. So I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to hope for the best. So then we have, well, that's it. That's the whole slate. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know where you think I'm way off, or if you agree with me. Also, I think that Drake May is the MVP. I took that at plus 3,000 about a month ago. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think somebody else is the MVP? But don't just say, oh, it's so and so. Like, give me reasons why, because I like to debate this. But I like the commentary. I like to be able to go back and forth with people. So if you like what I'm saying, you don't like what I'm saying, please let me know. Let's keep it respectful because it's all fun and games. But until next time, keep sipping and ripping.